Welcome to lesson 20 of Character Strong. So this one would be an activity we would probably do if we were in person. However, we're still going strong virtually right now. So I'm just going to teach you some ways to, what's it called? It's a balanced check-in, to check in with like your emotions and to give a more positive, hopeful, or good outlook on something that might have been stressful or upsetting. So here's one that's called Mad, Sad, Glad. So the first step would be to pick something that you're frustrated with, disappointed in, or angry about. The second step would be something that's been a bummer or didn't go the way you'd hoped. It could also be something you're sad over or something that you missed. And then glad is something you feel optimistic about, are grateful for, or have a sense of pride about. So I'll just go first. So something I'm mad or like I'll go back to when I was in high school. So something I was frustrated with, disappointed in, or angry about one time was that when so funny story, I actually failed my driver's test the first time I took it because I didn't know how to put my defroster on. So note to self, when you go for your driver's test, make sure you know how to turn on your defroster in your parents' car, whatever car you're driving. So I was frustrated and angry and disappointed in that. And then something that was a bummer or didn't go the way I'd hoped for in high school. It could also be something you're sad over, something you miss. In high school, I kind of like switched some friend groups and I lost some friends because they moved. So that was kind of sad that I was like kind of bummed about. And then in high school, something that I was glad about or something I felt optimistic about or grateful for or had a sense of pride in was that I was doing really well in school. Like I was on National Honor Society and Student Council, and I was applying for colleges, and I did well on my SAT or ACT. I didn't take the SAT. So that would be a mad, sad, and glad. So if you identify the like negative emotions that you're feeling, but then you end with something more positive, hopefully then that more positive aspect reminds you that you do have good things going on in your life and that you can be optimistic and you have somewhere that you're going. And then the second way that we can look at something is it's called Rosebud and Thorn. I've heard about this one in a few different ways. Like I've known about this one for a while. So in a situation, you can count on, or like after a specific amount of time, like you can count on a rosebud and a thorn. So I'm actually going to do this about virtual or like remote teaching and how it's been going so far. So the rose, something you're proud of or grateful for that we've recently accomplished or finished with remote learning, is I would say that I'm proud of me as a teacher being able to adapt, you guys as students. I'm starting to get to know some of you like a lot more, and you guys are opening up and feeling more like able to reach out and like talk to me and like start teacher student relationships. And it's just nice that like we're starting to kind of get into it and it's not all terrible. The bud, something that you're excited to do or experience or finish in the near future. I'm excited to hopefully like start being able to see some of your faces more. And if you do come back to school, like maybe being able to put a face to a name, because right now I just have all your little Google icons kind of. And honestly, just kind of ending this kind of a mess of a school year is the bud, and just hopefully starting fresh with the 2021-2022 school year. And then the thorn, something that's been a roadblock for me or a challenge I've been trying to overcome, is really just the feeling of like, I don't know, the like block that I have as being a teacher. Usually I really like feed off of like the relationships that we build and just like classroom conversations and just like the fun and like labs and like doing hands-on things and you guys getting to like see some awesome things. Like if we were dissecting a cow eyeball and like the juices came out and you guys freaking out, like, so missing that has really been a challenge for me, and just kind of like trying to still have you guys be interactive as much as possible through virtual. And also we used to do a lot more group work, and I've been like, obviously you guys know I've been trying to experiment with different ways to do group work, whether it be on your guys' end or setting up Google Hangouts and Meets and stuff. So I'm still working on that. So that would be the thorn. And then these are the questions that we'll reflect on. So our new character dare for week 4 now is called the balancing act. So you're going to write down one thing you think you say to yourself often that is healthy or helpful, so something positive or good, and then one thing you think about yourself that is unhealthy or not helpful. So the next time you think a version of that unhealthy thought, the challenge is to challenge yourself to pause and try and balance it out with a new perspective or focus on something positive. So it's really trying to flip that narrative of you have a negative thought and flipping it into a positive one. So maybe one of mine is that I'm always late or I'm not good at math. So if I sit there and I think like I'm not good at math, I can challenge myself and try and pause and balance it out with, okay, I might not be good at like calculus, but I can do like 3-step problems, or I know how to use my phone to find an answer. So I try and give myself a more positive answer to the question or the thought that used to be negative and try and flip it into a positive.